Good morning, guys. I'm here at an ice cream place that has one air conditioner on the roof. It's a strip center, and they said it was 77 degrees inside yesterday. So I do feel a little heat coming off the coil, so the compressor's running. Let's see what's going on. All right, well, see, I just serviced this a few months ago, so you can see my screens are nice and clean. That's no good. Hopefully we didn't lose charge. The coil itself isn't all frozen. The whole coil's not frozen. Filters aren't great, but you can see there's plenty of air coming through. There's plenty of light coming through them. By 20s. Yeah, I mean, again, you can see not perfect. Shouldn't be the cause of my problem. Well, first things first, let's shut down the cooling. All right, so what I just did, and what's just crazy is this is blazing hot in here. I just unhooked Y1, okay? So that dropped out the contactor. My compressor is obviously blazing hot because it's just been running non-stop. What's wild is, right, my discharge is crazy hot. This is nice and cold, but it's 65 degrees this morning, not 68. My suction line is absolutely tepid. So that's going to keep our fan motor rolling. Okay, so our blower's blowing. I'm going to close this because I want to pull the air from downstairs across that coil. We just want to melt that. So now we just got to wait. This will melt down, and then we will fire it back up and see why she froze up. I feel like that. I'm gonna pull an amp draw on the motor quick, but I feel like the blower could be spinning much faster. All right, it's a single horse motor. It's allowed to pull 3 amps, and we're pulling 2. So even leaving a 10% buffer, we could drive this thing to 2.7. I was looking to see if that was bearing grease. All right, again, I maintenanced this unit just a few months ago, June maybe. And what I did was I checked the amp draws on everything. I checked the capacitor, the contactors, my superheat, just so there was no evidence of drama there. And we were good to go. Filters, right? And the filters I did not change. This place had a different service company that changed the filters every 6 months. So I checked them out. They weren't terrible. And you can see they're not terrible now. They're not terrible now, but we're going to change them just out of a matter of whatever at this point. So do you, right? We want to put tension on this belt. This is way too loose. So do we want to adjust the sheave, or do we want to slide the motor. I'm a fan of adjusting the sheave in this situation because it actually gets me more RPMs. They would tell you never, officially, you should never adjust the sheave for matters of not moving the motor. Belt looks great. Yeah, I checked the belt. All right, well, let's adjust the motor and see how it drops and what happens. All right, so having adjusted this down, we got almost nothing. We went from what, 2.5 to 2.2. So now I'm gonna adjust the sheave. All right, I'm gonna show you the difference. You know, everybody's kind of like got their thing. Like for me, it's contactors and capacitors. You know, that was kind of beat into my mental brain by Chris, you know, at hvac videos. Also watching just all the breakdowns season after season, contactor, capacitor. But I've never been one on like, oh, we need to replace that pulley. But take a look at this pulley, right? And realize we should have a much steeper angle of that pulley, and we don't. So that's allowed this belt, not the belt to stretch, but the belt to settle deeper and deeper into the pulley, and realize from a physics perspective, as it runs deeper into the pulley, it loosens up. So you can loosen this, and I've already done it. Look, I can move it with one hand now. Had to break it loose, but you can rotate the outer, and see we're going to close that gap. I'm going to just close it all the way, and then you got to find your flat spot. So you can see we're not quite going to get there, so I'm going to back this out to my flat spot on my threading. And now when my belt hits it, okay, you can see my belt doesn't pull to the center. Man, I really need to pull it all the way. I need to see if I can. I need to see if I can get the big wrench and convince it to give me that last little bit. Okay, now you can see when this belt rides on it. Now see if we can get it to focus. It rides out here. Now this is going to be a temporary fix. We need to replace the pulley because the more it runs, it's going to wear down the sides of the belt pretty quick. We've got spare belts in here that, if they're in decent shape, I may put that AX on. I like the cogged ones, right? Yeah, so then that's gonna ride right on the outer edge. All right, so with that sitting on the outside, you can see we didn't even settle back down to where we were. Hello. So just from sheer numerics, my brain is simple. So let's stop this 2.8. Let's call it 20. We were running 2, and now we're running 2.8, right? Or really we were running 21, and now we're running 28. So numerically, we've added 30%. It's working 30% harder. It's not moving 30% more air, but it is moving a lot more air. Also, don't stress that we're running 2.85 and we're allowed to be running 3, because the motor is going to be amping higher than regular because of all of the air we're putting on it. If we haven't had this conversation, we actually live in a fishbowl. All of this is water around us. It's just such a small percentage of it that I'm weird, right? The more you talk to me, the more you find I'm weird. But imagine when we close this panel, we're allowing the fan to breathe in whatever the economizer gets it, which is closed at the moment, so it's just breathing the inside air. Once I open that panel, I have given it the weight of infinity. Infinite air is being pressed upon it, and the fan actually slows down and pulls higher amps. So we're actually pulling 2.5 amps, 2.45 amps with it closed. And imagine we weren't actually pulling 2.1 amps because I measured that with it open as well. So we have greatly increased airflow. All right, yowza. I just ran downstairs to grab my bag. We are running. Yowza. Okay, so we are definitely out of gas. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open. It's going to equalize anyway, but I'm going to help. I'm going to open both of my sides. We're going to put some pressure on it. We're going to get the leak detector. We're going to start sniffing. I'm going to open this evaporator back up. I wish I could share with you how the whisper works, like you could hear it. You got to get it wet. So you got to get everything wet. So you got to get your big blue. You got to spray everything. But I can tell you from here, I can hear it. And you start going. Not good, man. Not good. I gotta pull this whole panel off because it doesn't seem like it's leaking on my end. It seems like it's leaking at the steel protrusion right there. This could be ugly. You think there's any chance I can blue rod that? Or do I need to cut this loop right here, but it seems like it's at the steel. Do I need to cut this back and take a look in there? It's there. Hardcore, it's there. What would you do here? All right. This is odd. I don't like those boogers there. Like, what's up with that? So we have done all that can be done here. Okay, I mean, I'm not saying I'm giving up. We have done what can be done to expose the leak. It is on this circuit, right? So you've got the discharge line that runs out into 4 circuits. This one, and those 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and quick grab the bottle. We're gonna try and recover what we can of this. There's probably not much in it. Man, I don't think I will have success with a blue rod. So the blue rods will, help with the dissimilar metal problem. All right, I'm gonna do something wild. It's right here, okay? It's on the underside. And you can see I cut back the steel so that I can just try and torch it. Hello. Well, I got 50 PSI sitting on it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and put some real pressure on it. Okay, I have other questions. I'm not a Lennox guy, so I'm not familiar with the specifics of this unit. I mean, refrigeration is refrigeration, right? I mean, the control systems change, but it's all the same. My question is this: why was this unit allowed to run in a vacuum? Right? When it was running in a literal vacuum at -7. And why was there not a low pressure safety to drop it out? I'm real confused about that. I mean, the suction line has nothing on it. There's no safeties on it all the way back You've got a freeze stat. No loss of charge safety. See, that seems odd to me because there's no way you haven't. I mean, we're lucky if we haven't killed that compressor running in a vacuum for days over a simple safety. All right, we're pulling. I'll go ahead and reassemble things while we're working. All right. 8 pounds, 10 ounces, 410. Yeah. Just like I saw it earlier. 8 pounds, 10 ounces. Ugh. All right, bottle's open. We're liquid bled to this point. It pulled down to 400 microns after I broke it a couple times with gas. And then I shut her down and she rose up to just under 800 and stayed there. So we're gonna go. System's off. So bottle in the low or in the high side as a liquid, as much as we can, right? As much as we can into the condenser. And then once the pressures are too high and it won't take anymore, then we will start up the unit. We'll bleed in the last to the low side. That's all we're gonna get. So 3, 2, 1, don't blow up. Thermostat's going to be on a delay and then it'll start. I'm going to wait and then go ahead and be patient rather than jump it out. Alright, so she pulled in. I've got this cracked real slow because again I'm feeding liquid straight to the compressor and that's not good. So real slow, very small amount. You can tell it's a very small amount because it's not freezing up when it's running in. And we're just going to walk it gently to 8 pounds, 10 ounces. Baby. We already did all this with the whisper. Hey, now we got some heat. Now we got some heat. So my superheat's going to be jacked right now because my temperature downstairs is been jacked. I don't like that we're running such a low saturation temperature either. But we're gonna have to let the room stabilize before we can really feel what's going on. They've got some ice cream machines downstairs I'm gonna work on while I'm here as well. So we're gonna let this eat and we'll let it hopefully satisfy and we'll leave the gauges up top. See where we're at. She's starting to settle in. I like that a lot better. We're set for 70, we're currently 73, but it's down here in this hallway where there's the return, but there's no vents here, so we gotta change this whole space. And it was 80 when I got here. Yeah, baby, so look at this. It has gotten to be 80 degrees already. 20 degree superheat, 40 degree coil. Bada bing, baby. Bada bing, baby. Shut it down.